To the mics. Good morning, Art Beauty Equilibrium Podcast Family, episode 266. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's get into it.
Why do people treat spousal support differently when it's a woman paying a man?
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this.
Why is that the case?
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this.
Why are we so confused when it's that way?
Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. That is that double standard. What else we got for us?
We don't know what to do.
What else we got for us, G?
Also, we got NPR's Tiny Desk Black Music Month. This is like one of my favorite times of the year.
Yes.
We get to see all these dope artists perform. We got the NBA Finals starting June 5th.
Oh, that's Thursday.
Yeah, that's Jordan's birthday too. Happy birthday, Jordan.
JoJo, happy birthday.
Trump is asked, will he pardon Diddy? Will he do it?
Will he do it?
Will he do it?
He might do it.
Ryan Coogler film debuted in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Remember, that's actually a circle back story when we talked about they didn't have a theater.
Yeah, so they got one now.
So he set it up with them to make that right. And also, finally, our deep dive is going to be Cardi B and Offset's divorce sparks spousal support debate. That's what we're going to be talking about. So
what are we talking about first?
First of all, we're going to start off with this Tiny Desk.
Ooh, because who we got coming up?
So, off the top, I know I saw E40. I'm gonna watch that later today. I can't wait.
We are watching that immediately.
Black Music Month.
What?
Yeah.
And we got the subwoofer in here. Dum, 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 dum.
And when you think about it,
that's right.
When you really think about it, it's just good. You just realize how many artists just don't have a platform. Right, because you see the talent on Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
my God.
Exactly.
It's like, man, you might not see these artists come to your city on a tour. You might not see them producing new content, new music, but I'm glad Tiny Desk kind of just blew up.
Shout out to E40.
I was about to say, man, you took the words right out of my mouth, Shima. Shout out to E40. And shout out to Tiny Desk, because, man, they are really showcasing and broadcasting this talent. And it is a wonderful thing.
Exactly.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I remember. I still think Juvenile's had his right there.
Hey,
iconic.
Man, that was.
I think that
was last year or 2 years ago.
I think that was last year. I think that was number one, right? Usher, and of course I'm biased because I am a big Anderson .Paak fan. So Anderson .Paak did his thing, but man, look. Yeah. I can't wait till we get off air so we can watch
right.
We can watch E40 because I know it's about to be jumping. What? Yeah.
Yeah, they. I'm trying to think who else is.
What up, my boy
there.
Keith? Keith Myers in the building. Boy, that's my childhood friend back in the day.
I saw E40. He kind of teased a couple of the other artists that was going to be on there.
Yeah. So he gonna bring people on there.
I mean, he's just, they have an artist like it's Black Music Month. So they're going to have a lot of other artists on there. I just don't know. I don't have a list in front of me. I should have had the list. But he, yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody in the chat room can bring that list up for us right quick.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Yeah. Anyway, we also moving on. We got the beginning of the NBA Finals. I'm not going to lie. These two teams.
It's about to be some pressure.
It's gonna be good basketball. You got the Pacers.
Look, that last game.
Yeah,
when we was on that group text, I was like, man, Knicks is gonna get it.
Ooh,
and they did not
They did not get it.
They did not
it's
get
looking
it.
ugly.
Whoa.
Looking ugly.
They did not get it.
I
think
can't
it's
wait to
kind of
see
boring,
SGA against
like the teams,
Halliburton, bro.
It's like
it's not gonna be boring.
No, not basketball wise, but I'm saying like I don't think the numbers are gonna do well because who wants like basketball heads are gonna watch this because it's gonna be a good, evenly matched teams. Right now they both got young benches and they can compete, but it's the Thunder and the Pacers.
I think it's gonna be fire.
It is gonna be fire.
I think it's gonna be fire. This young talent, and you got to think, neither one of these teams has had a championship, so that's what's gonna make it even more fun.
Right.
I'm saying if you casual, right? If you're a casual fan, that's not gonna get you to turn to it.
I'm a casual fan, and I'm about to watch it.
Nah, you're not.
I just feel like this
What?
is something that we get to say. Okay, look, they seeming like they coming from out the dirt. You know what I mean? Because just like he said, they don't have any chips. So at the end of the day, like they're both fighting for something that's like super, super, super meaningful for the city, for the town, for the state, everything.
Right.
This is
right. Yeah.
Man.
Let me know in the comments who y'all think is gonna take it. Who you think is gonna win? Is it Oklahoma? Is it gonna be? We're gonna see.
Man,
what do you think this means
I
for
don't
the
know.
for the legacy though of like the players? I think whoever comes out of this championship and wins, they might be on the trajectory to be like the face of the league. Like
I was thinking that they are going to hold the crown
because they're both.
Yeah, they're going to hold the
amazing.
crown. Yeah.
Did you see the meme when they were showing how
what up, big game?
how Halliburton? Everybody's clowning because they like Halliburton thought he was going to get the Eastern Conference MVP.
Who
and
got
they
it?
gave it Stoyakam.
Oh, but he did his thing, though.
He did do his thing.
So
Listen, shout out to our family in OKC.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
They're excited. So that's
they
one of
going
those
big.
things
I
where-
know they going big out there.
It's going to be a great
Did you see
matchup.
Mike Epps? He was front row.
Yes,
Boy,
Mike Epps is
look,
out
they're
there.
not playing.
They're not playing at
Woo,
all. Yeah,
man.
that's gonna-
I
that's
can't
gonna
wait
be
till
what's up.
Thursday. Oh, man. What else we got?
We got Trump was asked if he's going to pardon Diddy.
Ooh.
Man,
And
you know they party together. Why wouldn't he?
he said, hey,
Why wouldn't
I'm going to take a look at it and see if he's being mistreated.
If he seemingly is being mistreated, okay, we're not
If
talking
he's
about.
mistreated,
We're
I'll
not talking
take a
about the
close
trial.
look.
We're not talking about the evidence. It's like, I guess he's going to analyze the situation afterwards.
right.
But to his point, they haven't talked in years. They haven't talked since he started his political journey. So, according to him, they're not really friends like that.
You gotta say
although
that.
they did used to hang.
I mean, just because you
you
ain't
know?
talked in
What
a
do you- what do
minute,
y'all
that don't mean
think,
you ain't
Chat?
friends.
Do y'all think that he's going to let him out? Because
Yeah.
if that's the case, man, just
Put it in the
stop
comments.
this
Put it
trial,
in the
man.
comments. I
He
wanna
tried.
know.
Look, he
Stop it
pardoned
right now.
Larry. He pardoned Larry Hoover.
Yes.
You think he's not gonna pardon Diddy? Come on, really?
Hey,
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
Larry Hoover?
Hey,
Come on, man. I bet $1 he pardoned him. Who gonna take that bet?
I wouldn't be surprised. But it does. This goes back to like, how can a regular person get a pardon too? Like he has
He is
pardoned a
pardoned
lot
regular
of people.
people.
That's what I'm saying. But I just want to know the process. Like, in case something happened, how do you reach out? How does that happen? Some people are saying like, hey, if you donate, if you make contributions, you can start that conversation. But I just want to know how does one go about getting pardoned? And something else I learned with the Larry Hoover thing is like you could be pardoned federally, but still got to do your state time. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Some people, even though they get a federal pardon, they still locked down, still can't get out because they still might have to do all of their time on a state level. So
What up, Clint? What up, D1? D1 said he is not gonna pardon that dude.
oh, you're not okay. You don't think? I don't know. They asked him. He didn't say no. That's easy. No.
Yeah.
he didn't say no. So shit, he probably left the door open a little.
Well, I mean, his
I'ma
comment
leave
was
the
just
door open.
a sliver of what and how I guess you could,
Interpret
in my
it.
opinion, interpret his decision making, because he said that if he finds that he was mistreated,
Right.
and in all fairness, and talking about the judicial system, which, as you know, You know what I mean? A lot of issues right now are happening with the administration,
right,
and the Supreme Court and all these other court systems, and so I just really feel like
one thing I will say that was unfair, not to cut you off, but I think he was denied bail, right? And I think he tried to go pretty much out of his way to pay money, put his houses up, surrender his passports, and he was denied bail. That's, to me, that one part of it, just based off, our rights, that might be considered unfair.
Hey.
Right.
So we got to stay tuned for that.
But we still got to, we don't know if Diddy's going down yet, though. We assume he is, but we still don't even know if he's going down yet,
I'm not making that assumption because I feel like I'm really listening as a neutral party. I'm listening to both sides. I'm listening to the United States' case against him and what that all entails, because the seriousness of this is just, when you're talking about like human trafficking, you're talking about like RICO, like these are some very serious allegations, and they have a history of not bringing evidence against people and going all the way through with a trial and everything, because unless they have a high success rate if they do bring it. Mm-hmm. So if their success rate is in the 90 percentile, you know what I mean? They must have things that they think and consider are going to, without a doubt, get this conviction. But
I think there's no way he just goes home, but I don't think he's gonna be like for the rest of his life.
I will say this, okay, ex-boxer, what's his name again? Ex-boxer Charles Duke Tanner, who was had a drug charge. First offense, okay? He was sentenced to so many years in prison. He had his sentence commuted in 2020, but he's basically been still caught up in the system, still not able to live his full life freely or whatever. And Trump just pardoned him, and he got like his whole freedom back, so he can travel, live, and now he's fighting against prison reform. You know what I mean? So these are just some of the things that
NBA
are
young
happening,
boy.
right? And a lot of people are also questioning the fact that since seemingly Trump is like pardoning a lot of black people. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I don't know. What y'all
blacks.
think?
Look, man, we all know that, all Republicans ain't bad and all Democrats ain't good, man. So it is what it is.
All right, moving on.
I was wait a minute. So I'm listening to Earn Your Leisure, right? And they said, out in these other countries, Africa and everything, like some of them are pulling for Trump because, they say that Republicans, they come out there and they pretty much mind their business. But Democrats come out to these other countries and want to interject in the things that's going on. It's like, this ain't your call, player. Like, this is what we do. Like, so mind your business.
Gotcha.
So,
All right. Ryan Coogler screened Sinners in Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Right.
So if you remember, this was the town, correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't have a theater, right?
Which we covered, yes. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And the word of that travel got to Mr. Ryan Coogler. And they went there and had screeners. I believe it was free, right? Was it free screeners?
Well, you know what? I don't know if it was free, but I know that they had panels. They showed up. Ryan Coogler showed up with his wife. They had a 3-day fest. It was cultural events, food. It was basically like town hall meetings. It was also panels. So they basically showed up and showed out.
Yeah.
All because of this open letter penned to him.
That's dope.
In regards to a man who's an advocate also too for the area, but he had to travel 80 miles. 80 miles.
80.
And he saw it. He saw the movie twice, but he had to travel 80 miles to basically go and view the film.
I hope he saw that movie back to back that day, because I'm not going 80 miles coming back. Man, that's 320.
Hey, and shout out to Ryan Coogler just to show you can always make an impact. You can always make a change through art, through whatever your position is. a lot of people, you hear a lot of people say like, "Hey, this, it's above me. I can't do nothing about that." It's like people can do stuff.
Yes.
When you set your mind to it and you have that intention, you can help. So let's stop that narrative. He's proven that this is because he could have easily said, "Hey, I don't have nothing to do with that."
Right.
It has nothing to do with me.
I was about to say.
And I'll tell you this much. He said that when he went there for the research for this film many, many years ago when he did go, it impacted him then too. So even now, going back after the movie and the success of a $48 million movie, think about it. You know what I mean? You going back to the town that inspired you, that inspired this. From the music to the culture.
Right.
And, I mean, they had live bands, music. It was off the chain. So.
And speaking of, this is a little off topic, but have y'all heard the rumors that Tom Cruise is going to be in the sequel?
I did hear that.
I've been hearing that. I'm like,
I didn't know there was going to be a sequel.
Yeah, they talking about
Tom. Shut that down, but
yeah, that's
still,
good.
Yeah.
I don't see how
that would be pretty dope though.
I don't know, man.
I mean, but Tom Cruise, he's
that dude.
He wants too much.
Yeah,
but that would be amazing. Can you imagine?
Budget high.
Woo, boy, I'm all for it.
All right, let's get into it.
I am wait a minute, hold on. Hey, what's up, Ma? She said, "Yep." I don't know. She might have heard it too.
Yeah, she might have heard it too.
Yeah. Shout out to Ma. Yeah.
Jinx. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's say shout out to Ma and the Syncopated Ladies, and
yes. Let's see. Okay. Cardi B and Offset.
We going to it?
Yeah.
This is this week's time on this.
This is week's deep dive. This is our deep dive this week. All right, the double standard and spousal support. I want to hear everybody's comments. Let us know. Tap in. So those who don't know, Offset and Cardi B are getting a divorce, right? And it became
nasty
because Offset is potentially eligible for, spousal support. And when Cardi B got word that he was asking for spousal support, she went up on social media.
So wait. So first, Cardi B went up already saying, "I'm about to rape you for this child support.
Right.
I'm going to get you for everything you got." And didn't realize it was like, yo, you make more than Offset. So, you going to, have to pay off some spousal support. And then she went off. See, look. See.
Anyway, the backlash, right? She was like, "I hope you die slow."
Yeah, see, that's not.
Hope you die.
Why would you
slow.
say that to somebody?
Crazy.
Why would you say that to somebody? Especially if you already tried to get the cat, right? Like you already tried to get him. Like, oh, I'm gonna get all your bread, right?
Yeah. Well, so people are like torn because let's be real. What we're talking about is a lot of people feel like men shouldn't get spousal support. Period. And that's the whole backlash. And the other side is like, nah, we more progressive as a society, and this is part of equality. This is part of getting rid of those double standards. Like,
I mean, some men
you
do
gotta
get
pay
spousal support. Like Mary J. Blige's husband got spousal support.
They brought her up too, but when they do it, it's viewed as wrong. Like it's not accepted. That's the whole thing. Like
it's like pretty much, you a man. Yeah, you shouldn't ask about spousal support. And that's not fair.
So that's what we're talking about: historical versus modern expectations for gender roles and financial support.
Well,
that's the
first off, for this whole spousal support and everything, right? I think that family court should be the rules should be written different. They should change the rules. This is a different time now. This isn't back in the day when a woman didn't work.
Clint said, "Pay that man."
Shout out to Clint.
You guys don't think she was just being emotional? Because
she was for sure being emotional.
But even when you're emotional, you got to watch what you say. I'm sorry.
My thing is this: the father of her kids should deservingly live. You would want that to be like a long life situation, not like like a a death wish, you know?
Yeah, you shouldn't be trying to wish somebody dead. You know, now don't get me wrong. They have enough money to leave each other alone. They should just say, look, it didn't work. Hey, y'all, we go our separate ways and we gonna co-parent. That should be the mature way of handling it.
I want to ask this question, though, to everybody listening and watching. Do you think that the stigma is fading away and people are more accepting of this, or do you think it's still as strong as it's always been? Like, you still frowned upon, period. Like, if you're a man, whether or not you deserve it based on our current rules or not, people still gonna think less of you than if you get child support from a female spouse. I just want to know what everybody thinks.
Let's just sidebar, right? There are still plenty of women who feel that they can be head over heels attracted to a dude in a certain environment, like say a bar or something, will not go and say anything to the dude because they feel like they're too prideful, right? And a man needs to go approach them. So yeah, they still thinking the same way. It's silly, it's ignorant, right? It's like, dude, you know, equal rights.
But
right?
see, you don't feel that way, right? Like you more about.
I'm with equal.
Okay, yeah. So I want to know, like, how do everybody feel? Because in my mind, I could be biased, but I feel like.
And don't get me wrong, right?
They obviously are not looking at this as equal, because he getting called a lot of names and stuff.
So this is my thing,
to get
right?
this bread.
If the whole situation didn't happen with her trying to get him first and say, you know, and shoot the narrative like, oh, I'm gonna take you for everything you got, right? Mm-hmm. And then he just was like, okay, well, I know you make more money than me. I'm gonna leave you alone. We just, like I said earlier, you know, like you go your way, I go my way, and we just co-parent. Cool, right? But when you already throw those jabs like, oh, I'm gonna take you for everything you got, it's like, well, I can't.
Yeah, that is speaking. I think that is like putting the what do they say? Putting the cart before the horse. You know what I mean? Because now you're like speaking of something that you don't even know. You kind of like spoke ill and you don't even know the total situation. And let's be real. He probably is eligible for the spousal support because she probably makes
She
the
does.
higher income. Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I think that we're just not used to seeing it as a society, and as sore as men feel about it, women feel sore the same way. So now we're seeing. But that's just because you're hearing it. You know what I mean? Like I hear it from both ends. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like how do we say somebody's like wrong? They're emotional. It's like at the end of the day, if somebody breaks up with you, or you're with somebody or whatever, would you want to still have to you know, it's like, think about it.
Well, let's go to some comments real quick. D1 has said, why do major artists even need support, right? Because, you know, I'm assuming you're talking about they making money, they successful, why do they need it? And I think it's about, like, once you go to court and you breaking up, to Mimi's point also in the comments, she said, like, people get petty when you're breaking up and your emotions are running high. And,
exactly.
And it's not about what's fair at that moment.
That's
like,
a good point.
You know, it's kind of more about like, I'm a win.
Well, let me ask you this. I feel like this.
People are trying to be victorious, and when somebody wins, somebody loses.
But let me ask y'all this, and let us know in the comments too. Because also at the same time, she's basically publicly in a relationship, okay, right now. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you know, taking steamy pictures on the boats, and she's showing gifts and everything, and I just feel like, is there like something that shouldn't even matter? Like once you're already like, well, you've already moved on, so is it that serious anyway? You know what I mean? You're already like in a situationship. You know what I mean?
It's about that money.
Else.
Like Mimi said, you know, that money, because yeah, you can move on, but you still got property. You still got, you know, a lot of times different lifestyles that you become accustomed to. Maybe you was making more money at the time. Maybe she was making more money at the time. And then when it comes to paying and kicking in, and you mad at somebody because that's why y'all breaking up in the first place. Y'all not getting along. And in most cases, it get bitter and ugly. Yeah. You don't want to pay that person that money. In the heat of the moment, nobody's trying to like finance somebody's lifestyle on top of, like, remember we was just talking in the shop this weekend, and people, different men in here were sharing their stories. and they were saying how like, you know, when it comes to getting divorced, they was telling us some stories where it's crazy what people go through when they go through these divorces. So to Mimi's point, it gets super ugly, super nasty.
Is that considered bitter?
And petty. Heck yeah. Because I think in the heat of the moment, your emotions is high.
And
how many people really break up on some like grown?
And this is my thing when it comes to emotions, right?
Yeah.
You should not let your emotions take over the situation, because that slip of the tongue could cost you. Right. And right now, this is a prime example. Cardi B's tongue is costing her.
So that was a threat, right?
Yeah, and I know I don't play with threats. Don't threaten me, you know. So I, you know, look.
That's what somebody said in the comments. It was like, think about her kids got to hear you threatening their father. I hope you die slow.
I hope you die.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But she mad.
But I'll ask you guys this also. Like, do attorneys, and I don't know, but do attorneys like counsel on this? Do they tell you like, don't do this, don't do that? Because that's also a point. Like, if you're actively going through something, and you know they probably have both, like a good attorney team, you know, but do they counsel you and say, hey, don't say this? Because that's like putting your damn foot in your mouth.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll share a personal story. A close friend of mine was going through a divorce and was cutting his hair one day, and he asked me, hey, my lawyers just told me I'm eligible for spousal support. Should I get it, though? What do you think? And just the fact that they're asking that lets you know, like, here it is. Your significant other makes way more money than you. Your lifestyle's going to take a step back when y'all break up and y'all go y'all separate ways. And because you the man, you like, I don't know how I feel about this. Should I get it, G? Should I leave it? What you think? Ultimately ended up not even asking for it. But his lawyers was like, hey, this is an option, just so you know. Like, based on how we normally do these things. Now, yeah, you're a man, so obviously
the crazy part is, right, he's not going to get any merit badges for this. He's not going to get a pat on the back, right? But once again, if he'd have did it, he'd have been looked at as the bottom of the bottom.
Right.
However, if a woman, right, can still take care of herself, right, do you think she was going to take that take that spousal support, yes or no?
I think it's way more, that's what we're talking about. I think historically it's way more, like, even the narrative, but after it is like, when you hear of a man paying like large amounts of money, even with child support or alimony, they be like, that dude's stupid.
But this system is also antiquated because also,
once again, that's why I said we need to change the laws.
On another note, because women were homemakers and the man back in the days were taking care of the whole family, you know what I mean?
Right.
These are why these things were happening, but here we are in 2025, and it's hard for everybody out here. But
now,
you know what I'm saying?
Let me interject, right? They say
that's a great point.
They say that women own more homes than men now. So once again, equally yoked.
It's hard
right?
for everybody. You know what I mean?
So once again,
if
you shooting your shots, pew, 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 right? And then somebody starts shooting them back, bow, bow, and you get tagged, it's your fault. You start shooting first. I'm sorry, Cardi B, you shouldn't have said it. You know, it's messed up.
Yeah.
You know, because I put it like this, right? Let's bring it down a notch, right? Now, Cardi B, what if that was somebody doing that to your son? How would you feel?
Ooh.
I can't now it's something serious, right? Because if somebody's doing that to your son, you'll want to kill that woman, right? I rest my case. And every woman out there who has sons, right? Imagine if somebody's doing that to your son and messing up their money and their legacy, right? Imagine that.
But we don't even know if it's going to mess her legacy.
Wait. No, I'm just saying that women in this narrative right here, Cardi B had her own chicken, her own money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But still was like, oh, I'm going after your throat, right? Like I said, same scenario, right? If her son was going through the same thing, she'll want to murder that woman who's putting her son through that, right? And come on now, I don't have kids, but I'm very overprotective of my godchildren, my nieces and nephews, right? So I couldn't imagine. I don't even like when I see people going through child custody battles. Like, it is sickening to me, right? So to have this, right, man, look, once again, if somebody was, I don't have to relax. I do not need to relax. It's all, I like how Mimi said that. But look, straight up, if somebody was doing that to your son, right, and Mimi, if somebody was doing that to your son, right, how would you feel? Rest my case. Thank you.
So you gotta relax. All right.
Listen, I do have to say this. This is just a sidebar. End of the school year celebration for CAA SA Cares in partnership with LAUSD and BSAP. Today, June 3rd, from 2 to 6 p.m., Hart Prep Middle School, 9301 South Hoover Street, Los Angeles. It's a community event with games, mobile games, an aviation bus, live DJ, game truck and jumpers, free groceries. Free groceries. I'll say it again. Free groceries, free diapers, free eyeglasses, gift cards, food trucks, free dental cleanings, and fluoride treatments.
That's beautiful.
And immunization. So if you know any families who could benefit.
What's the cross street?
If you know any families who could benefit off of this event or from this event, please shout out to LAUSD, CAAASA.org, Hart Prep Middle School. Make your way there, 2 to 6. Thank you.
Yes, and don't forget to join us next week. We're going to be getting into our Father's Day Black on the Block. We'll be at Black on the Block on Father's Day. So we'll be talking about that next Tuesday. And also DM us if you're interested. We're planning our next ABE After Dark. If you'll be able to participate, please DM us and let us know. We're trying to get a list together for whoever can participate.
I already know a couple of therapists that's trying to get in.
Yeah, I love it.
They've already asked.
Talk about this in more in depth on that day too.
We'll talk about it more in depth next week.
Oh, it's gonna get heated.
We got it.
I'm letting you know I'm bringing all my divorced partners. And I'm bringing the heat.
The date again.
Bring it back up.
The date again is June 15th. Juneteenth at Black on the Block. As you know, this is Juneteenth month, so you guys look out for us there. It's going to be at the Center Studios in downtown LA. So hope to see you guys. Buy your tickets now. Buy your tickets in advance. Mario is going to be the special guest.
Mario.
Shout out to Mario.
Cool. Yeah.
All right, y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share. It's free 99. We passed our time. We got clients outside.
All right.
See y'all next week.
Gotta go.
We can turn the ground.